Okay, guys. So today we will see about how we can store multiple types of variable in a single array or in a single variable, I can say. So is it possible to store a heterogeneous element in a single variable? Yes, it is possible with the help of object type of array. So basically, I wanted to store. Let me do this. Let me write this here. I wanted to store here some different types of value. Okay, I wanted to store a string type. So in a string I can say like rishi I'm writing here. Okay, and if I wanted to store some float value or double value, so I will write like this. We can take, if I wanted to store some boolean value, so we will write like true something. And if I wanted to store some char, so we can take like this. So how do we declare this? So we need to declare with the help of object array. I can take like this, and obj I can say, and equal to new object. I can say like this, object, and we need to write like this. So inside this we need to pass the capacity. So this time I will pass as a 9. So whatever the capacity we will pass here, so the total length we can say, or the capacity to store the value inside this is 9, I can say. So this is how we can store heterogeneous element inside object type of array. Okay, so let's try to run a program on this. Let me create a class for this one. Okay, so let me try to write this. I am taking object type array. I am taking here. Let's take the main method. Let's delete this. Although it is not recommended, means not required to delete. We can, although this is in comment line, I can say. So how do we write object object? Okay, object, and I can say like obj equal to new object. Okay, so see, it is coming from java.line package. Okay, and we will pass inside this whatever the value I wanted to pass. Like I wanted to pass 9. So the total capacity to store this value is, I can say, 9. Either we can store homogeneous element or heterogeneous, both we can store here inside this. So maximum we can store total 9 values inside this. So normally how do we store? So basically we store as you know, like we are store, we need to store on the basis of indexing, I can say. So on the basis of index I can write like, okay, I am going to store rishi here. Then after I can say, okay, so this is obj, let me take obj. Okay, then after I can say obj of first value. Okay, so let's take this, and I wanted to store here 10 as an integer value. Let's take some float or double, I can say. So obj of 2, let me store some value here. I'm storing 20.80 I am taking. Okay, and then after I am taking some different another variable of obj of 3, I can say like this. Inside this we can write like some character I wanted to store. So I'm storing a inside this. Okay, and some different variable obj of 4. I wanted to store some another value, what we can say, like some boolean value I wanted to store. Okay, like this way we can store, or we can store some different value also, like obj of 5 I am storing here. So if I wanted to store this value as a string, I can take as data I'm taking. Okay, so like this way total length is 6. If I wanted to check the length, you know how we can check the length, like, so see, sys out 6 out, we can take like this, and we can write like this. I can say length. Okay, length, length, how much length is this? So let's print obj dot length. Okay, so it will print total length of this. So it will print 6, and I wanted to print all this value. Okay, so let me sys out out, and object array contains I can say object array contains value. What is the value it is storing here? So we need to print. Okay. So how do we print? So we can print with the help of, I can say, uh, let me print it here. Either we can print with the help of arrays class, or we can print with the help of for loop. So let's arrays arrays dot, I can say arrays dot to a string. We need to write like this, and we need to pass this value inside this. Okay. So if we will write like this, suppose if we will write like this, see, if I wanted to print SIS outc out and I wanted to print obj, so it will give some hash code value for this. Okay, so let's try to print this first. See, it is giving hash code value inside this. Length is 9, java.lang.object it is saying, and it is printing this hash code value inside this. Okay, so this is the hash code. Okay, we are, so this is not a good way to like whatever the value if I wanted to print inside the array, this is not a recommended way. Okay, although we will not get, if I wanted to print, we can print like this. Okay, let's try to run this. See, the value it is showing here null null null. Why? Because inside normal array it was storing 00, right? By default JVM was assigning, so this is the object type of array. So this time it is storing null null null. So whatever the value we have not defined, it is storing as a null. Okay, so let's make this total 6. So it is printing, see here it is printing 9, so it is taking as a 9 length total. Okay, inside this. Okay, let me make it 6 here, and let's try to print here. See, now it is not storing null 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 value, right? Okay, so we can also print with the help of for loop also. So how do we print that? So to print with the for each, so we will try to print with the for each loop. Okay, so let me try to print spis or utc out, and I will take like this one. Let me take this, and inside this I will write like this, and we write for each loop. So whatever the object if I wanted to store, so see how it will, how we are going to store. See, it's a single element, I can say, right? 3c 10.5 true a. So this is the single element. If it is double, means two dimensional array, then we read with the help of array, means next array in the sense one dimensional array, I can say, right? Like we were reading multiple element from that. So that time we have taken object array, means whatever the, if it is a storing multiple elements, so we need to take object array and we need to take one another for loop. But this time we are storing only one value, so we will take as a, I can say, as a single value, I can say. So for this one we need to write like object object. So it is a storing object inside this. So whatever the object it is storing, so I'm just taking object of x, I am taking. Okay, and on which we wanted to make operation on obj, so we need to pass obj like this way. Okay, and inside this I wanted to print in a single line, so curly braces not required, I can say. Spis out sys out, and I will try to print x by x, because all these obj values whatever it is stored here, it is coming like this is coming here, and it is assigning to the x, and we are simply printing x. Again it is looking for this one 10, it is assigning to x, and we are trying to print 10. So this is how it is working. Okay, so let's try to print this. See, okay, so let me make it in a good way, and plus control s. Let's try to print. See, it is containing this value, so it is printing like this. So this is the way, with the help of object array we can store, and we can make some operations on heterogeneous element with the help of object type of array. Thank you so much.